Hi Stampers, it's Rose Coleman with stampingwithrose.com, coming to you from my stamp room in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, with another video featuring one of my favorite products from the brand new annual catalog. This is I'm featuring a product from the 2019-2020 Stampin'Up catalog, and the one I'm going to feature today is on page 25, and it's called Noble Peacock, and I'm going to show you a fun easel card using these products. So let's get started. Here's a peek at the card I'm going to show you today. So it lays flat like this, so it will fit into your standard envelope. When the recipient opens it, it stands like this, like an easel, here's the side profile. So let's get started. I'm going to show you all the products I used to make this and the cutting measurements, and I'll show you how I put it together. Okay, so let's take a look at the stamp set. So the stamp set is called Royal Peacock, and I'm just going to open it up here and show you. So we've got the stamps, and then we have the matching peacock dies here. Oh my goodness, these are so beautiful. This one in particular, this one right here, I'm just going to lift it up and show you. Look at all the detail in that peacock. That's the one I'm going to be using on my card today, but I can't wait to start playing with these little flourishes and little sprigs, and this one down here looks like a feather. So many possibilities for this beautiful, beautiful stamp set. And it's also a two-step stamp, so you can stamp the beautiful peacock, and then there's an accent, so you could put that over top and maybe emboss it with some gold or copper embossing accents. So I'm just really, really excited about this stamp set. I could not wait to get it. So this is the stamps and the dies. As well, on page 167 of our catalog, I'm just going to show you here quickly. There are two products that coordinate with all of this. Down here at the bottom, we have the Noble Peacock Specialty Designer Series paper, and we also have the Noble Peacock Foil. So with the Noble Peacock Foil, you get 6 single-sided sheets, 2 each of these 3 colors, and with the Designer Series paper, you actually get 12 sheets. You get 4 sheets, 4 each of these 3 styles. And I actually have them right here to show you close up. These are the foil sheets. So we have Pretty Peacock, Blueberry Bushel, and Old Olive. Look at the shine on those sheets. I just love them. And then the DSP, the Specialty Designer DSP, it's single-sided because you don't need the other side, right? There's so much happening on this side with the foil. We have Blueberry Bushel, Old Olive, and then the Pretty Peacock. Love, love, love these. And I love especially that you're going to get 4 sheets of each style. So lots of creating with those. So let's get started. My card today starts with a base of Blueberry Bushel that measures 4 1/4 by 11 inches. And I'm going to show you how I cut this. So I'm going to bring in my paper cutter, and I'm going to score it first at 5 1/2, which is halfway on the long side. So there's my score line. Looks like a typical card with the score line at the top. But what I'm going to do now is take it back into my paper cutter, and I'm going to line it up here on the outside edge at the 1 inch mark. And I'm going to just cut this at 1 inch all the way down to the 5 1/2 mark at the score line. I'm going to flip it over. I need to also do one on the other side, the opposite side. So I need a 1 inch mark, 1 inch cut on both sides of my card. So I'm just going to cut up to the score line. So this is what I'm left with, these 2 flaps. I'm just going to fold these down, and then I'm going to turn my cardstock, and I want to make a score line on this piece. So I'm going to pop that back into my paper cutter. And now I'm going to use the scoring blade, which is the light gray one. I'm going to score at 2 3/4 inches, okay? So now I've got this score line. This is going to make the easel part of the middle of my card. Okay, done with the paper cutter. I'll just put that aside for a second here. And what else do I have? So I've got my card base ready to go. I have 2 side panels, 2 side pieces using the Pretty Peacock Designer Series paper. And these measure 3/4 inches wide by 5 1/4 inches long. I also have another piece of the Blueberry Bushel Designer Series paper that measures 2 inches by 2.5 inches. As well, I have 2 pieces of Whisper White that measure 2 1/8 inches wide by 5 1/4. So 2 of those panels. Okay, so now we're ready to get started. The first thing I'm going to do is stick down the side panels of my card. So I've got my snail adhesive here, and I'm just going to put some all along the edge of these side panels. I'm going to fold down and secure them on both sides. So these are going to remain flat, okay? So this is going to be the sides of my card. And now I'm going to go ahead and put down the Designer Series paper strips over top. So they're just going to sit right here, like so. One on that side and one on this side. And the Whisper White panels, I'm going to put one of them down on my background here, like this. And the Blueberry Bushel Designer Series paper, the 2 by 2.5 inch square, is going to sit just down here. So I'll go ahead and put that down. So once you get all your cutting done for this card, it goes really smooth to just put it together, because this is how the card base is. Now all I have to do is work on my easel. I'm going to bring in my bone folder and really reinforce these score lines, because these score lines need to be nice and crisp so that your easel will stand up properly. Okay, so I'm just going to reinforce those 2 score lines so that now when I open up my easel, it will stand properly like that. Okay, so I'm going to use this long piece here, and I'm going to do some stamping. So from the stamp set, I'm going to use the You Are Incredible and my Blueberry Bushel ink, the Stampin' Pad. Just going to open that up, and I'm going to stamp my You Are Incredible right at the top, like that. Okay, now what I want to do is, I'm just going to move my ink off to the side. I'm going to bring in my Pretty Peacock ink pad. I'm going to sponge the edges of my Whisper White. I really like the look of adding matching color to the white. It just softens it up, doesn't make it look so naked white. Sometimes it's just a stark image, and you know, like it just ties the card together. I guess that's what I'm trying to say when you sponge the edges. So I've just taken one of our Stampin' sponges and I've cut it into 1/8 of a little wedge, so you can get as many of these as you want. And then I've used the tab punch to make a little tag, and then I store these in an old egg carton container, and then I can always have the color. When I reach in, I can grab the specific color that I need. Okay, so I'll just put that aside for a second. Now this is ready to go onto my card. This panel is going to sit on this strip right here. So I'm just going to put lots of snail on here. I'm going to come down here with my panel and sit this just like that. Okay, so let's bring in the peacock. Now I went ahead and cut using the Pretty Peacock foil. I did use the die and cut out one of these gorgeous peacocks. Isn't that stunning? So now what I'm going to do is just flip it over, and I'm going to add some Tombow glue. You don't need a lot of Tombow glue. Tombow glue is very, very sticky. So I'm just going to put some little dots in some of the thicker spots on the peacock, and that will just do fine. You don't need to cover the whole thing, and you don't need to use a lot of Tombow. Tombow glue is very, very sticky, and I'm not sure, I'll just hold it up closer to the camera so you can see. I only put glue in just a few spots, and that should be just fine to sit that down on here, and it should stay stuck. I'm going to just lower this down and attach my peacock. So I'm just going to hold it for a couple of seconds just to make sure that it sticks. And there we have it. We have our peacock on there. So I want to now bring in my stamp set again, and I'm going to use this So Very Proud of You. Got that mounted on my block. I've got some scrap Whisper White. I'm going to bring back my Blueberry Bushel, ink that up, and I'm going to punch this out using the 1.5 inch circle punch. So I'm just going to line it up here, pop that out, and I also want to sponge the edges of this one using Pretty Peacock again. I'm just going to quickly go around my circle like that. And lastly, I just want to put this onto my card. Oh, well, not last. I still got a couple of things I want to do. I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of this piece, and I'm going to mount the So Very Proud of You right on here. So then when the person opens the card and wants to stand it up, this will be the part that holds the peacock in place. So one more thing about my card, I want to add some bling, right? So cards are not complete, in my opinion, unless they have some kind of an embellishment. So we're going to use, this is the Noble Peacock rhinestones, and there's 140 on the sheet. As you can tell, I've used a bunch already. They come in all these different beautiful colors, and the peacock is just screaming, I think, for some rhinestones. So let's go ahead and put some on. I'm going to put a little blue one up on the peacock's eye. I think that really makes him pop. And then I'm going to add some big ones. Maybe I'll add some pink ones this time. I've made a few of these cards and they all look different, and they're all so pretty with these rhinestones. Okay, so I'll put pink, and maybe I'll put a green one there. And then up here, I'm going to add another row. Maybe I'll do all the colors. So green, pink, and some purple, and a blue. There. That looks so much better. Love it. So here's a close-up. Look at all that bling with the foil and the rhinestones. Oh my goodness, I am in love. So that is my card for today. I hope you like it. And if you have any questions about anything with Stampin'Up, please don't hesitate to contact me. My name is Rose Coleman, and my website is stampingwithrose.com. If you would like to head over to my website and place an order on my online store, if you live in Canada and you use this host code, I would love to send you a gift in the mail. I love to award all of my customers for their orders. I really appreciate your support, and feel free to leave me a comment, and I'll be back soon with another video. Take care. Bye-bye.